It's time to tell you the story about us and the pigsty.
Hi, I'm Parker Stevens from Sigourney, Iowa. Let's talk about that.
Good Mythical Morning.
This episode is brought to you by the Rhett and Link Kommunity. Engage with other mythical beasts, interact, and create. We enjoy seeing the things that you create. Over at RhettandLink.com, click on Beasts.
Welcome to the last episode that we're broadcasting from Harnett Central High School, where we went to high school. Thank you to Coach Gage for letting us use his U.S. history classroom or European history. I think there's a thing of Europe over here, but then there's a U.S. history book here. I'm confused. It's very historical in general.
Let's just say world history, because it's all in the world.
World history class.
And it happened in the past. All right, thanks for hanging with us. Because we're here experiencing the sights, sounds, smells, tastes of Harnett County, we're prone to remember things, and we want to share them with you. So let's go back one more time into the annals of, I just should never use that word again.
Just say the past. Let's just going to go into the past.
History.
Or just use the archives.
Our own history.
You want to use an A word, say archives.
Let's go into the Rhett and Link archives. As we've established before, growing up around Bowie's Creek and in Harnett County, there's not a lot to do.
Not a lot of traditional things to do that you guys might do these days.
You had to drive all the way to Cary, North Carolina to see a movie.
Or to Dunn.
Well, why do that when you can just go swimming in the river?
Yeah, so that's
camping.
One of the things that we did on a regular basis that we ended up getting a fair amount of our friends into was we went camping on the Cape Fear River on this little island that was actually in a cow pasture and frequently defecated upon by cows. I don't exactly know why we chose this as a great camping spot, but we were in high school and we didn't really understand anything otherwise.
It's nothing like camping on a cow pie.
It makes a nice pillow.
Or, well, no, it doesn't, but there's nothing like waking up with a cow crapping right next to you.
Well, if it's very dried, it makes a good pillow. I mean, very dried. It also makes a good fuel source.
For a campfire.
Yeah.
We never burned those. We just gathered fuel. Yes, Cape Fear River. Yes, if you're familiar with the movie The Cape Fear.
Same river.
With Robert De Niro.
This is upstream.
But De Niro never camped with us.
No, he never did that. But we had a group of guys that we called the camping pod, and we took everything really seriously. We made like this constitution for the camping pod, and Trent Hamilton actually burned the edges of it to make it look like an aged document. Yeah. And it like had all these rules, and it was just completely ridiculous. It was like a secret society, but it was like you and me.
It was fun. It was, that's when friendships were built and solidified, and you had deep conversations around a mesmerizing campfire.
Awesome.
Then the campfire would get low, and you'd leave the edge of the river, and you would go into the cow pasture, and you would attempt to do cow tipping.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, definition of cow tipping is when you sneak up on cows who are sleeping.
They sleep standing up.
And they sleep standing up. And then you go and you tip them over. If you tip one cow, you usually don't tip the second, third, or fourth cow because
they all wake up.
They moo in some sort of pain. But they love it. They love it. Actually, I'm just going to news break here.
I think it's called news flash.
Breaking news here that's going to flash in your face. Cow tipping, it's just not possible.
It's just a myth.
At least in Harnett County, it's just not possible.
We tried at least 20 times, and every time we went out there to the cows in the middle of the night, they just were like, huh? They knew that we were there, and they didn't let us tip them over.
The cows in Harnett County never sleep.
But yeah, that's what it is.
Put that on a bumper sticker if you're proud of Harnett County. But the thing about it was the island that we camped upon.
You had to cross the river.
You had to cross the Cape Fear River.
We're talking like a class 2 rapids, not a huge rapids, but you had to walk across it. And during the summer, the water level would be a little bit lower, and you would cross over.
So we're talking like 3 to 4 feet if you crossed on the rapids.
But it's really moving. The water's really moving. You got to really know what you're doing. But we would put our stuff into trash bags, your sleeping bags,
food,
all that stuff. Put it over your shoulder, and you would go across the river. So we went out there with about the regular 6 or 7 guys, and we added about 6 or 7 guys to the pod that night and said, let's just make this like a 15-guy thing. We're going to bring a bunch of guys from Angier and Lillington. Just anybody who wants to come can come. And so we go out there, and we all cross the river. It takes these guys a while to cross the river because it's not easy to do. Then, we can't. We go try to tip cows. It doesn't work. Anyway, little do we know that upstream that night, there was a rainstorm. And the river swelled, and it actually went up about 2 feet, which is a huge amount when you're talking about a big river that you have to walk back across.
And now, we had I mean, there were stretches in our lives when we would swim in that river every single day for until it got too cold. So we were very seasoned river swimmers.
Yes.
We knew where the holes were, we knew where the snakes were, we knew where the rocks were, and we knew when it got high, we knew the techniques in order to lean very hard upstream in order to cross.
But these city boys from Lillington and Angier, they had never. It's not really city boys. It's sort of an ironic joke if you know how small Lillington and Angier are. But they had never done this kind of thing. So we're like, okay, this is not going to be easy, guys. We cannot cross in the normal way. You're going to have to go out into the rapids. This is the next morning to get back across the river.
Or just sacrifice yourself right here.
Yeah, either kill yourself now or you're just going to go out there into the rapids and you got to just let your feet go and you got to use your bag and you got to float down the river and slowly work your way over to the side that we're trying to get to.
Just make sure to keep your feet up so they don't get caught under something and you drown, and that they'll hit rocks instead of your head. And feet first, up.
Admittedly, I was a little bit nervous for these guys because they had never done this, and this is a river that people get killed in all the time. I mean, their parents would have been really upset with us to know what we were putting them through. So anyway, we go down, and me and you and a couple of the other guys who do this on a regular basis, we get across, and now we're in this, there's like a neighborhood along this side of the river, like houses that are on the river. And so I go down about 2 or 3 houses, and that's how many houses it takes for me to kind of get over 2 or 3 yards to kind of get there. But then I kind of look back, and I see that our other boys who are out there for the first time, they are like still mostly on the other side of the river, and they're just flying down the river. And I started getting really worried, like these guys could die, and it's going to be our fault because we talked them all into doing this.
Or they're going to spill into the ocean.
You know? They're going to make it all the way to Wilmington? Yeah. I don't think that would have happened. So anyway, I crossed one of the yards. I get back up into the road, and the road kind of goes parallel with the river. So here I am walking down the road, hoping that eventually I'll start seeing these guys come up in these yards and then walk towards me. 30 minutes later, I look way down the road, and I see 3 or 4 of them coming. And I realize that...
Which was everybody. So everybody was accounted for.
This is everybody who's left. They're crying. They're all like... They're all so shaken up that they're like crying and trying to keep from letting us see that they were crying.
And we've never talked to them since.
I apologize to these dudes.
So it's another chance to apologize. Be safe, children. Be safe.
Don't do that.
Stay out of the water if you're going to go feet first. But we got to tell you the other story.
Yeah, pigsty.
So we tell that story just to say as evidence that even our peers recognize that some of the ideas that we had and the things that we did as common practice were actually crazy. I remember one night we went to a Harness Central football game.
Yeah.
It's a Friday night. Everybody goes to those. But it was, it was boring. I remember at halftime we were like, let's do something else. It was me, you, and Michael Juby standing out there. Let's do something else.
Student body president.
Yeah, and then we're like, and you were the secretary, and I was just the guy who was bored.
Just the friend. You didn't get to be the vice president.
It's like, well, there's a pigsty a couple of miles up the road from here. We're like, yeah, we know that pigsty.
Yeah.
Let's go ride a pig.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea.
Of course, it was pitch black. It was that late at night. So we drive out there and we park on the side of the road. And we'd never been in this pigsty before. But I remember, there was the fence and there was pigs all in there and mud. And there was an old abandoned single wide trailer back there. And there was one light up on like an electric, on a pole.
Like an automatic nighttime light.
Yeah. And then so that light was there. So we could see by that when we get in there and we're looking for the pigs. Looking around, and it's starting to dawn on me. I don't really want to ride a pig.
Why not?
It's muddy. I'm gonna get dirty. These are the clothes that I wear when I want to look good at the football game.
Yeah, because you got to go back to the football game.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out smelling like pig crap.
Yeah, right.
Looking like I've ridden a pig. The glory just really got demoted once I got out there.
I was still looking for the pigs. I'll be honest with you.
I was just thinking, and about that moment when it's dawning on me, we probably shouldn't be here. That conclusion is solidified when all of a sudden that single wide trailer that I thought was abandoned, the light comes on, the front door opens, and because there was a light right beside the door, I couldn't see the person there, but I heard the man say, "You've got to the count of 10 to get off of my land." And then I heard the shotgun cock. No lie.
This sounds like a movie, but it actually happened.
And then he goes, 1, 2, 10. And we are tripping over each other.
Dude,
pigs are going all over the place. I knew there was a fence that I had to jump over, so I was just leaping like a gazelle, hoping that I would randomly clear it.
No, I ran. It was a barbed wire fence. I ran right into it, and just ripped to my jeans and kind of like
jumping around.
And then I got over it, and then I was thinking, it was my car. I was driving the Dynasty, the one that we went to the movies with Tabitha and Jamie, and now it's mine.
Oh, yeah.
These couple of years later, I'm trying to get into the car and hit the gas and keep my head down under the seat so that the guy doesn't kill me.
It's a
and
spray.
And
Shotgun makes a spray, and I was like, Rhett is going to leave me if he gets there before me.
everybody got in the car.
Me, you, and Michael.
But the funny thing is, we were so scared, and that memory just it lives so strong in my brain right now.
But smell the pigs.
But the fact is that guy was just messing with us.
He never fired the gun.
It was just a good old boy who's like, all right, I got an opportunity now. I'm going to do my 1, 2, 10 joke. You know what I'm saying?
What? I mean, it's so classic. 1, 2, 10.
Isn't that what the guy says in Home Alone? In the first Home Alone?
Really?
He
don't know.
the one that he uses to get he says some kind of count.
Well, so what is the lesson here, people? If you're going to chase pigs, don't cross a river to do it.
The lesson is, we know the kinds of things that little boys want to do and that we did and our parents didn't know.
High school. Little boys in high school.
And now that I've got 2 boys, you've got 2 boys, it's like, I mean, I'm going to let them get away with some stuff, but I just know how their brains work. And I, first of all, they're not going to have those kind of opportunities because in Los Angeles, it isn't like you can go ride pigs.
No, I'm purchasing some pigs right when I get back to LA.
All right, well, let's look into that.
Next week, we will be back in LA. Thanks for sharing this experience here in North Carolina, Harness Central High School, and thanks to everyone from here who helped make us who we are today. You're all special. And those of you watching are special. Let's pull up the imaginary wheel of mythicality, spin it.
And while that's spinning, I want to let you know that next Friday, on the show, we're going to talk about what is the best music video ever.
Leave comments now.
Yeah, you comment below what's the best music video ever. We're going to see what you say, and we'll crown a winner, the best music video ever.
Leave your argument. Okay, the wheel says, pose for a family portrait.
It says the same thing on your invisible wheel?
Yeah, it does.
Wow, it also says it on that board that we wrote what it was going to be over there.
Okay, so here we go. I'll be the dad who's not happy to be here.
Dad, we got to do this for Mom. She wants.
I know, I'm here. Camera's there. I'm here.
She wants us to get the thing. And
all right, just count to 10. All right.
I know that you don't love me, but you need to act like you love me in the picture.
I'm here. I'll put my arm around you.
But no, we need to be like. No, she said she wanted us to be like this.
All right, this is for Mother's Day next year.
You need to get up.
Kind of early notice.
She said she wanted us to be like this.
All right, count to 10. 1, 2, 10.